Can't beat that. What's going on, guys? Bori Afolabi here, hanging out in the studio, and I'm very excited today to finally start this new series of videos that I'm calling the Songwriting Process EP Edition. And that's because I'm writing an EP at the same time as I'm doing these videos, and I'm sharing the things that I've learned and that I'm incorporating into my songwriting process. So that being said, let's get right into it. When I first started writing songs, the first thing I learned earlier on were the components of a song. And I learned those four components were lyrics, melody, rhythm, and structure, not necessarily in that order. However, not every song contains all four of those, but every song contains at least one or more of those components. And those components are not just for fun or for the sake of fancy names. They are actually created so that you can convey an idea, and that's the purpose of a song, right? We want to say something. So for the sake of time in this video, and just to be more diligent, I'm going to focus on just lyrics today, and in the next video I'm going to focus on melody, and the next one structure, and the other one rhythm, and so on. So I'm also going to be using the song that I'm working on right now as an example to better explain these ideas. So when it comes to lyrics, the first thing that I ask myself as a songwriter when I'm working on a song are two questions, actually. And the first question is, what do I want to say? And the second question is, how do I want to say it? So the first question, how do I want to say? The first question being, what do I want to say? Often when I write, I pick up the guitar, and in the case of this song, what I did was I picked up the guitar and I literally just went, reach back for me. And it sounded good and it felt good and everything just kind of worked right away. And that lyric, reach back for me, already kind of told me where the song was going and what it was about and what I wanted to say. So often it happens right away, but more often than not, you find that you might get only a lyric, or you might get only a melody and a chord progression and not a lyric, and you don't really know what you're trying to say, and it comes later in the song. So it can come later, it can come sooner, but no matter when it comes, it's important to understand what you want to say with the song so that that becomes a header or a focal point of what you're trying to do. It kind of leads you in lyrics. So in this particular case, I went reach back for me. That came right away. And then from there, I started thinking about a guy that was, sitting down, reminiscing about his life and a lost person in his life that was dear to him. And he was kind of wishing she can come back and be with him, or at least not forget him, or at least come take him with him. Whatever it is, it was a guy reaching for somebody, asking for somebody that had left to reach back for him. And that became the whole purpose and topic of the song. And then the second thing was, how did I want to say it? And this is where lyrics really matter, because I find one of my biggest pet peeves as a songwriter is lazy lyrics. Just grabbing the first word to describe the most general idea without thinking about, a better way of saying it. And my biggest thing is, I always say, find a different way to say common things, right? Say it in a new way. And don't just say it for the sake of, trying to be different. I mean, sometimes there's no new way to say, I love you. Sometimes the best way to say I love you in a song is just to say it right out in the song. But oftentimes there are very creative and, artistic ways to express the same idea. And let me give you an example. In this particular song, I went, reach back for me, right? And then I ended up liking that whole point, reach back for me. And then the next part, I went, I like the chord progression, and what I wanted to say was we were stronger when we were going through adversity, or we were stronger when things were tough. That was what I wanted to say. And then I found a better way to say it that works lyrically and melodically by saying, honey, we were stronger when the winds wouldn't let us be. Honey, we were stronger when the winds wouldn't let us be, right? Winds, you know what I mean? Storm, adversity, right? There's a metaphor there. And we were stronger when the winds didn't leave us alone, when we were constantly being bombarded by adversity. And that's just an example of how you can say something in a more creative way. And those are the two things. So it's important, like I said, to remember what do you want to say when you start a song, and how do you want to say it. And every song is different. Every writer has their methods, but generally those are the first two things I keep in mind when it comes to lyrics. I will be going further in depth in future videos, but for now, this is all the time I've got. So I hope those ideas help you. If you have any questions, make sure you hit me up in the comments, and just hit me up on any of the social media platforms, and I'd be glad to connect with you guys more. Appreciate your time. You guys are awesome. God bless.